Hi, this is Ann Vaillancourt from Female Menopause Mentors, and this is the second video in our series on stress. And in this video I'd like to talk about some of the tools that you can start to develop to learn to cope better with stress in your life and to reduce your stress response. In the last video we talked about the stress response and how it can affect you negatively. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is acknowledge what it is you're actually feeling and what might be causing you to feel this way. So write down the list of aspects in your life that you think may be causing you stress. If it's something as large as your job, you may want to break that down into smaller parts, such as the numbers of hours that you work or the actual work routine that you do, your hours that you're expected to be there at work. Perhaps you have a coworker that is causing you difficulties. Maybe you have an unreasonable boss, or maybe the demands of your job are just too much and there's not enough teamwork going on within your workplace. So if you break this down, you may find that there are a few parts of your job that are stressful, but that you can control, that you can make some changes, and this will help you to better cope with the remaining parts of your job that you cannot control, and it may make going to work less stressful for you. Many of our stressors we can't really get rid of, but we can improve parts of them so that they are not as big of a stress for us as before. Many of our stressors we can get rid of or we can modulate. So write all these things down and then decide what you can say no to, what you can set limits on. Perhaps a relationship that you have is troublesome for you, and you need to start setting limits for that person and limit your interaction with them, or let them know what your limits are for how they're going to treat you. You may need to get a counselor involved or a family member to help you to do this. It's also important, and speaking about relationships, it's important to identify the relationships that you have that are very positive and nurturing for you, and really nurture these relationships, because these are the people that are going to help you the most. Relationships that are not as nurturing, as we mentioned, you may want to decrease your exposure to that person or set limits. It's important when dealing with stress to also develop ways, both physically and emotionally, that you are going to actually deal with the stress itself. So for many of us, for me in particular, when I'm feeling stressed out, I always go for a brisk walk. That always helps me. I try to make sure I do it in a pretty area where I can look at nice gardens, nice yards, and maybe I have my iPod on and I'm listening to some good music, and that's always helpful for me. Physical activity will help with the physical aspects of the stress hormones. It will reduce them in our body, and it therefore will reduce our muscle tension and our heart rate, and generally increase our sense of well-being. Emotionally, there are things that people can do also to help with stress: meditation, prayer, hobbies that where you focus on one thing and one thing alone, such as knitting, woodworking, reading. It basically shuts out the outer world and stops the train of stressful everyday thoughts that you may have going on, and this can reduce your stress levels. So it's good to make a list of what you like to do that will benefit you, and then practice it. You may not be able to do it every day, but you could at least do it many days of the week, and a good 15, 20, 30 minutes spent on a pleasurable, focused activity that is not stressful to you will go a long way in helping you to relax and feel more positive and give you the energy to meet the challenges of your day and your life. In the next videos we'll talk more about specific things that people do, like meditation, prayer, the relaxation response, and these are tools that you may find helpful to utilize in lowering the stress. So until then, I hope you found this helpful, and as always, have a good day.